to his father, wanted to marry his daughter. So the father said, well, what's your 5-year plan? He goes, I don't have a 5-year plan. I just trust in the Lord. The Lord will provide. Well, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I just don't even think about that. I just walk with the Lord. Well, where do you work? Well, I don't work anywhere. I just trust the Lord. I live by faith. Do you think you'll be working sometime soon? He goes, I don't know. I walk by the Spirit.
Yeah.
So he came home, and his wife said, how'd it go? He's a nice young guy. She said, well, did he have any faults? He goes, only one. She said, what is it? That boy thinks I'm God. Number 6. We fall asleep because we fail to ask why you are where you are. John 11, after he said this, he went on to tell them, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I'm going to wake him up. His disciples said, Lord, if he sleeps, he'll get better. Jesus was speaking of his death. I wonder what it is that took Lazarus out. Can you wonder how many times maybe the Lord tried to warn you about it? I was down in North Carolina in March. And I had this amazing encounter with God. And at the time, I had lost 27 pounds in less than a month. And I look at pictures now, I'm huge. And I had a friend come up to me, talk to me, he goes, God's been speaking to me. He goes, about the same thing. And I told him, I go, well, I've been really struggling. I've been feeling a lot of chest pain. I've had pain shooting up my neck, down my arm. I feel like an elephant's been sitting on my chest. And I said, I'm scared. And then I told him what the Lord spoke to me, how the Lord was going to reverse this. I said, man, I got to do something. And then he called me, every few months. I really haven't done anything with that. The Lord keeps speaking. And then we were down there on July 31st in his church in North Carolina. And he said the same thing to me. He said, oh, man, you've lost all that weight. He goes, God keeps speaking to me the same thing. He goes, but I just don't do it. That was a Sunday, 31st of July. He died the next day. Just dropped down dead. Everybody was shocked.
Yeah.
But should they have been? And what is it God keeps speaking to us about over and over again? Well, we just keep sleeping.
Yeah.
This much I know. Lazarus was not the same person when Jesus rose him from the dead. In fact, there's a book called Lazarus Laughed. It's a historical look at Lazarus after Jesus rose him from the dead. And he was notorious for running through the streets of Jerusalem saying, death is dead! Caligula's a fraud! Caligula, the emperor of Rome! He's a fraud! What Jew would ever call Caligula a fraud?
Yeah.
It's like Lazarus saying, well, what you going to do? What's the worst you're going to do? You going to kill me? I already done that, and I got the t-shirt. When you die to self, nothing will fear you anymore. How do we wake up? I wrote down a list. This is not an exhaustive list, but it's a big one. Number one, 2, you read that waking up and doing something is good for you, so you're motivated. 3, someone else is waking up and their movement wakes you up. 4, someone wakes you up because they know you have somewhere to be. 5, someone wakes you up because they want you to go somewhere with them. 6, your house is on fire. You jump out of bed. That would be. Number 7, your child is crying. You wake up to go help. Number 8, your alarm goes off. You just get up. Number 9, your alarm goes off. You think about it. Hit the snooze button for a little more sleep. Our wake-up process only begins when we fully embrace the need to wake up.
Amen.
Until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change.
Amen.
We won't change.
Right.
We got to say, I don't want this pain anymore. I want something better than this. I don't want to hurt others anymore. 4 things you got to know about waking up. Number 1, John 11:11. Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Number 1, God is on your side.
Yeah.
Notice that beautiful term, my friend Lazarus. Can you imagine having a nickname like Jesus, the amigo? That's what I think happened to me on March 1st. When I was beating myself up for gaining 130 pounds in 11 years. And I felt an overwhelming sense that I was a friend of Jesus.
Well,
And I'm going to say this. For those who struggle with weight, because I have all my life, I'm not a different person today, 82 pounds lighter. I'm the same person.
Right.
That's why you'll never hear me demean someone who struggles with weight. Now, are people treating me different now?
Yeah.
Not even close. It's still just as wrong as it ever was. And let me say this. If I ever think I had anything to do with this, if I ever even think for a second that I lost this weight and I turned this health around because it was me, I'll be big all over again.
right. Yeah.
Number 2, we wake up. God is on our side. Number 2, it is God who wakes us up.
Yeah.
Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, and I'm going to wake him up. Number 3, you cannot change on your own. This is an amazing verse. John 11:39. Jesus said, "Take the stone away!" Do you know Jesus needed help in order for this miracle to take place?
Come on.
Yes, Jesus rose Lazarus from the dead, but he needed somebody to help roll the stone away. And you're going to need help no matter what you do in life. Number 4, learn the lessons that sleep has taught you. Verses 45 and 46. And there was a great turnaround for many of the Jews who were with Mary. They saw what Jesus did and they believed in him. There was once a banker who was retiring, and the young guy was just coming in. He was a notorious banker. And he goes, how can I ever fit your shoes? He goes, what's the secret of success? The senior banker said, make good decisions. I know, but how do you make good decisions? Said number 2, experience.
Yes.
He said, yeah, but how do you get the experience? He said number 3, bad decisions. I want to end this message by reading you a book. Now, I know they say in public speaking, the worst thing you can do is just read to people. But this is such an important book. It's only got 5 chapters. So I'm going to read it to you now. Is that all right? Here's chapter 1. I went for a walk, fell into a deep, dark hole. It took me a long time to get out. Chapter 2. I went for a walk and fell into the same deep, dark hole. It took me a long time. Chapter 3. I went for a walk and came across the same deep, dark hole. Walked up to it slowly, got very close to it, looked inside the hole, and fell in again. It took me a long time to get out. Chapter 4. I went for a walk and came across the same deep, dark hole. This time, as I approached it, I decided not to get close and walked around it. Chapter 5. I went for a walk. This time I went down a different street. How many of us have fallen in that same deep, dark hole?
Over and over. Over and over.
You know, life's funny. Life's like a book. You got a bunch of chapters. Some are better than others. Some are hard. Some are sad. Some are very painful. Some are joyous. What you and I need to do is we need to determine what the movie says about our life. You need to play it to the end. And put the expected end in. That's what hope is. Hope is an expected end. Now, you won't get through this life without it getting a pound of flesh from you. I don't care who you are.
Right.
You know, I remember one time a guy was going to Haiti to be a missionary. He met me in my house and wanted me to pray for him. He goes, you know, I'll tell you right now, Brother Heber. He goes, I ain't coming back from Haiti with all these missionary war stories. He said, I am going to Haiti to kick butt. And you want to know something? I got to hand it to him. His butt was kicked. About a year later, he came home and his butt had been really kicked. You know, when you get arrogant and you think you had anything to do with this stuff.
Yeah.
I was in a church a few weeks ago. This church is an all-black church, and they really dress up. I mean, they dress in, you know, fire engine red suits. And so,
Yeah.
you know, because I lost some weight, all my suits they're so huge, and I've given most of them away. So I thought, well, it's Saturday night, I'm going to be preaching at church. I better go buy a sports jacket. So I went out to Kohl's, and I thought, yeah, beautiful blazer, pretty nice. So then I come out there in the morning, I'm going to get dressed. I look at my shirt that I wore Friday night with the bridge to nowhere on the back of it. And I said, nah, I'm going to wear this. Because that's me. That's who I am. My wife said, they won't be happy. I said, well, you know what? That's their problem.
Come on.
That's their problem. And to our utter shock, all the leadership wore a very similar shirt. They said, we normally wear suits, but we knew you wouldn't wear one. Hey, there's only one place in the Bible where they ever wore a tie, and that was Judas Iscariot. Stand with me. It's time to wake